Thanks for tuning in to this week's edition of the Home Run Blast. I'm John McKechnie. I'm Connor Rowntree. That's
What?
John McKechnie. Yeah, I know. We traded places. What's going on, everybody, and welcome into the Monkey Knife Fights Home Run Blast Picks show here. I'm Connor Rowntree. That's John McKechnie from RotoWire. John, back with the headband. We just kind of briefly talked about it, but man, it seems like we've traded birds. The Blue Jays have just faltered into the dirt, 2-8 in their last 10, and the O's are picking it up. So I'll give credit where it's due. The headband, you're rocking it today, and I'm proud to be on air with the headband today.
It feels good, and this is no shade. I think you were just like speaking for the mass populace that's watching the show when you said at the end, I don't really understand the headband. I don't think a lot of people understood the headband. Maybe they still don't. However, the O's have won 9 straight games. They are the 4th team since I believe 1900 to finish with the worst record in baseball the previous season and then have a win streak of at least 9 games. They get the Cubbies again this evening, another day off tomorrow, and then a weekend series against the Rays. And we'll really kind of be able to take stock at the All-Star break as to how things are going to go and how they're going to approach the trade deadline and everything. But it's, I haven't felt this good about the Orioles in quite some time. We were talking right before the show. Your Blue Jays kind of put the final nail in the last time that the Orioles were relevant back in 2016. So it's been a minute. I don't think it's going to last, but I'm absolutely going to enjoy it while it does.
Well, let's keep things in the AL East here because, as we did notice, there's a lot of good pitching going today. I mean, Wainwright's pitching, Joe Musgrove is pitching, so we really got to find matchups. And if there's a matchup that we want to target, Mike Minor is pitching in Yankee Stadium, keeping things in the AL East. Let's head over to the Bronx, and my first pick, I'll throw it down there. Giancarlo Stanton, he's hitting .304 with 4 home runs against Mike Minor in his career. Minor has given up 7 home run in all 7 of his starts this year, totaling 12 home runs given up, John. 12.
That's
7 starts.
So we're closing in on a baker's dozen. That's not great. I think that, his home run per 9, if you distill it down, is 2.8, obviously a small sample, but boy, that not an encouraging one, nonetheless. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to kind of tail you on this one. If not Stanton, I will go Judge. I think that the Yankees will probably be a little bit salt about the way that things ended last night. I know a lot of bettors, they didn't find the value on the Yanks money line last night, so they put down on Cole with the win. Bullpen blows it. Tough scene there in the Bronx. I think they get it back tonight, and I think that Stanton and Judge kind of go ahead and lead the charge for that. Judge, 9 of his home runs have come against lefties this year, so actually not as many close to as many times as he's gone yard off of righties. 17 of his home runs have come at home, though. I look to him to add to that total tonight. And if it's not against Minor, I don't think Minor's long for this game. You get to that Reds bullpen and, anything can happen. And by anything, I mean the Yankees will continue to kind of pound them into the dirt. So with you there on the Yanks, Judge and Stanton, I think both of them, full endorsement from the MKF crew.
Yeah, no, I'm completely behind you on Aaron Judge. Leads the majors with homers, as you touched on. And then one other guy I do want to touch, though, is Matt Carpenter. He has 4 home runs in his last 8 games, and he's just smashing it against Mike Minor. He's hitting .583 against Minor with the home run in his career. So if the boys are coming to play, maybe mix in Matt Carpenter. Obviously, the other 2 are definitely the front runners there. But, hey, maybe the veteran shows up to play. It's supposed to be a nice 80 degrees at Yankee Stadium. A little bit of cloud coverage this evening. Ideal home run blast conditions. John, who do you have next up for your home run blast?
So let's see here. So I know we were talking about how Adam Wainwright is kind of a tough draw, but I do like Mookie Betts. I know, again, kind of a chalky guy. We'll go a little bit off the radar as the show progresses, but Mookie goes against Waino. Waino's given up almost 1 home run per 9 innings. That's not a particularly good rate. Mookie, 15 of his 20 home runs this year have come against righties. 9 of those home runs have come on the road. I think that the conditions are set up nice. Mookie's had some really, huge games in recent days here. So I'm in on Mookie to go ahead and go yard there in St. Louis.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm in for it. I think that might be a little bit of hope for me, as I do have Wainwright starting in fantasy tonight. So
Okay.
that might have just been me kind of pushing a little bit of hope. So thanks for shooting down my hopes and dreams. And then plus the headband. Oh man, it's been tough up in Toronto. Oh my goodness. But another guy I do want to note is Tim Anderson. He's hitting 412 against Aaron Savell, and he's got 3 home runs against him. I know Anderson's been banged up this year, but he's still one of the best. He's a premier shortstop in baseball. So I have to back him. And what I think will actually be a very high scoring game at Progressive Field in Cleveland tonight with the White Sox in town.
Yes. So I actually want to stick on that game for a second, because there's a lot of White Sox that actually have really favorable numbers against Savali over the course of their career. Tim Anderson, tops that list. Absolutely. But Eloy has good numbers against him. Luis Robert also has good numbers against Savali. But this is more of kind of a general baseball comment for you. Is there something rotten on the South side right now? It just feels like the White Sox are just kind of sleepwalking despite this, kind of immense collection of talent, or at least hyped talent. They're just not really getting it done. And then, they're throwing Lucas Giolito on the bump, who has one of the highest home runs per 9 among qualified starting pitchers right now. Let's see here. I think he's allowing like 1.8, 1.9 home runs per 9. So I kind of look a little bit to the Cleveland side of this one. I'm interested in Cleveland. I'm sorry, again, Giolito, 3rd highest home run per 9 among starters with at least 70. But there's not a ton of pop in the Guardians lineup. That's where the concern lies for me. I do think that Jose Ramirez would be the safest bet. But then if this guy populates into the contest, we'll check back in on that. But Josh Naylor, I think, is the only other guy with enough thump to where you can feel really confident in going with a Guardian player in this one. But he's got 11 home runs this year. 10 of them have come against righties, Giolito a righty. So that sets up pretty well for Naylor. So keep an eye on him if you want to go a little bit off the board from this game.
Yeah, and Giolito isn't in great form either. Over his last 7 games, his ERA's ballooned up over 6.5, and he gave up a home run in his last start against the Tigers. So yeah, John, I think that's a definitely a great spot to be in. And if we look towards some of those later games, I mean, I have to look at Houston. I know Shohei Ohtani's pitching, so I won't be going against him, but I'll be taking his. Oh, wait, never mind. Sorry. I will be taking Kyle Tucker against Shohei Ohtani. Sorry. I know Shohei Ohtani, he's the big name and everything, but he does have a tendency to give up the home run ball, and I like Kyle Tucker. He's already got a home run against him, and something's got to give for this Houston team.
Yeah, and if there's one team with kind of bloated expectations that's falling short that is doing a better job of that than the White Sox, is the Angels. I mean, they are completely in meltdown mode to an unbelievable extent. Sometimes you look out there and it's frustrating because you get 2 of the best 5 players in baseball surrounded by scrubs. I know there's been some injuries, but yeah, there's just not a lot there. So if Shohei only goes 6, you get to that pen. I would imagine that the Astros are going to be able to go ahead and touch up whoever the Angels end up relieving Ohtani with. So I'm with you there. And Tucker, always a good threat to go yard, especially from that Astros lineup that is lacking Yordan obviously right now.
All right, John, any other final bats that you want to touch on for the home run blast today?
I do. So this one is a little bit funkier. This game, not probably drawing a ton of national attention.
Is it as funky as the headband?
I don't know if it's quite as funky as the headband. It's a little bit more boring, a little bit more sterile of an environment, because we're going down to Texas. We're going down to that airport hangar where the Rangers play. But what kind of started out as a pitcher-friendly park, which was always weird because the old Globe Life Park used to be a total launching pad. Then it wasn't once they moved inside. But even still, John Gray is giving up a lot of home runs. He's given up 4 in his last 2 outings. He's got over 1 home run allowed per 9 over the course of this season. Obviously, this A's lineup not too dissimilar from the Guardians in the sense that they don't have a ton of pop. But if there is a guy, to me, it's Ramon Laureano. Since he's back and everything, I think that he is the best bat in that lineup. And I think that, being away from Oakland is always going to help an Oakland hitter, given how cavernous that Oakland stadium is. So Ramon Laureano is my guy, my pick to click from that particular game. I think that John Gray is someone to target. I think he's giving up a lot of loud contact right now, and Laureano's the guy.
Yeah, I think John Gray got off to a rough start in his career, obviously, with the Rockies having to pitch at Coors Field all the time, but it's just he hasn't really translated over well in Texas. And another guy that you could touch on in that game, if you want to play that game specifically, is Sean Murphy, who's hitting 750. I know it's a small sample size, but 4 at-bats, but he's hitting 750 with a pair of home runs against John Gray. So he's been able to really dominate that matchup. So just another little final piece for the home run blast. John, any final picks?
That'll do it for me. That's pretty much what I've got prepped up. So yeah, just to kind of summarize there, take a closer look than you normally would at the Guardians and the A's, because both of them are going up against pitchers that are giving up a lot of home runs. And then, of course, the bigger marquee matchups, take a look-see at the Dodgers, take a look-see at the Yankees, and I think you'll find yourself in the money this evening.
Yeah, Yankee Stadium is definitely the place to be tonight and for my bottom dollar, John. All right, everyone, thanks for tuning in to this week's edition of the Home Run Blast. I'm John McKechnie. I'm Connor Rowntree. That's what? John McKechnie. Yeah, I know. We traded places. The Blue Jays and O's have traded places.
We really have.
It's all over the place, folks. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.